say, how are y'all doing today? How are you doing? I am your favorite rapper, the best film writer and director in St. Louis. Facts, award-winning published author, actor, journalist, actor, business owner, nominated Hollywood music artist, number one bestseller author, Lacey G. Souldier Turner. Yeah, I know I got to write down my accolades. But today I got a very special guest with me. One of the greatest battle rappers to me. He in my top two between him and Easy the Black Captain. Man, we got my boy Aye Verb, man. Welcome to the platform, Aye Verb.
What's good, G? What's good, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate your patience with me, man. Glad we're able to finally get this locked in. Long time coming, man. Thank you for having me on the show, for real.
No problem. So before we get into what I want to talk about, I want to start from the beginning. So, where were you born and raised, and how was your upbringing as a child?
Yeah, man. Born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee, East Tennessee. Upbringing. It's been said before. I got my testimony online. I got all kind of interviews where I talk about it. Single mom, 5 kids. My older brother was the rapper of the family. Idolized him. He really took me under his wing as a young kid. Man, really got a lot of my wisdom, a lot of my artistry and everything from him. You see him at my events. You see him standing behind me in battles. I always shout him out in my intros. Goes by the name of Cannon. Grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee, playing sports. Moved to Kansas City in 2005 to play basketball at a college out here in KC. And then been in the Midwest basically since 2005 to now. But didn't really start rapping or doing too much poetry or anything until I got to Kansas City. My older brother was the rapper, so I just idolized him, followed him around. But I always used to write a little bit in school, some poetry, different things like that. Try it. But once I got to Kansas City, you know, um, started rapping, started putting out albums, started doing spoken word, different things like that. And then 2015 rolled around, and then tried my hand at battle rap, and then here we are 8 years later. Touring the world as a poet and a battle rapper, and enjoying life, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Aye Verb. So, what specifically got you into battle rapping?
Man, I mean, really just like loving hip hop, loving hip hop, not love and hip hop, but loving hip hop, and just kind of growing up under that guise, and then GUISE. And so understanding, like, just the culture of just battle rap, man. I watched my older brother battle rap. I've seen him, in barbershops, take me to barbershops, seen him freestyle battling. We would always freestyle back and forth, and then watch, some battles off the Smack DVDs. Back in the days, like you was waiting on two different DVDs. You was waiting on a Smack DVD, or you was waiting on the and one mixtape DVD. Like,
Right.
those were the two, like, that you was trying to find. And so, those DVDs, man, just loving the era of battle rap, and always been a fan. I remember when I came to college, when YouTube, was first kind of getting, off the ground and everything, and battles was posted on there. Like, I saw my first grind time battle ever. It was El Eagle versus D-Lore. They was battling in a park. You know what I mean? And then, I started watching grind time battles, and it just, man, it became such a hobby. I became such a fan of it immediately. And then, of course, I'm in Kansas City, so I'm paying heavy attention to the Midwest. So I'm watching you. I'm watching the rest of the guys in St. Louis. And yeah, just no coast and everything. I started having, like, becoming a fan of just the area around me too. Never really thought I would do battle rap, because I was just rapping and I was rapping in churches and doing spoken word and doing different things. And I didn't really know how my faith lined up with, battling. I just always, used it as an outlet to just be, a fan of it. But once Saga and Street Hymns popped on the scene, and the Street Hymns is a good friend of mine, and we started talking, he was like, yo, you should really try this, and I tried it, and the rest is history. So
Okay, so let me ask you this: did you think it would be difficult coming to battle rap as a Christian rapper, because it's all about the guns,
yeah,
and so did you think that would be a difficult move for you?
I was curious as to how it would be perceived, seeing as how Saga and Street Hymns were kind of already there. Saga really had already established himself. I believe when I started, he'd already had URL battles. So I didn't want to kind of look at, like, like this knockoff, or, oh, you're just copying him or whatever, you know what I mean? But I did know, like, I was almost 30 years old when I had my first battle. And I did know that, like, my delivery and the way I wrote and everything, and like spoken word scenes and open mics in Kansas City and all over, like I toured HBCUs in 2012 and did a whole spoken word. I knew that, like, I knew that my style and everything would be received, in the battle rap culture. I didn't worry about, sometimes people worry about rapping on beat and then going to acapella and saying, can I do it? I knew that I would be able to perform and deliver in battle rap. I just didn't know, it would pop off that quickly. In my first battle, was 50,000 views, went viral on, websites and different things like that or whatever. And then it wasn't until like my fourth battle against St. Mike where I was like, oh, not only can I do this, like I can compete at one of the highest levels. And that was when I really was like all in with battle rap. I was like, okay, cool, I could do this. I'm gonna give it. But the first few battles, I'm like, let's see what it's like.
Uh, I like that. So, like I said, you and Easy are my top two right now. So, one thing that I respect about both of you, but especially you, it seems like you focus on the science of battle rapping. Like, you know how Eminem say he wake up, words come out his head. So what's the method of your madness when you constructed your rounds together? Because it seems like you focus on every word, every line.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of filler or anything.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Is like I don't want to waste time. I don't ever want to waste time. You only get so many minutes, and you have to be a successful battle rapper. You have to keep the crowd engaged, and our attention spans are so terrible right now. You know, some battlers can get away with rapping for a minute and 30 seconds, and still not got to a crazy punchline yet because maybe they're legendary. Maybe we're listening to them because we don't care. That's the goat. You know what I mean? So they have a little bit more. Um, um we give them a little bit more grace when we're listening to them, but like I feel like I have a chip on my shoulder at all time. And if something's not hitting on the in the first 15-20 seconds, the next bar, like it's like, yo, I gotta make sure I keep everybody engaged. And so I don't want any kind of filler, so I write my material to the point to where, like, if I don't feel like it's going to hit, if I don't feel like it's pertinent, if I don't feel like it's opening up, it don't even have to necessarily be pertinent for that round. Maybe it's setting up something I'm gonna say in a second. Maybe it's setting up something in the third. But there has to be meaning for that particular line, for the entirety of this battle. So it is a science to me. And then I'm a very versatile battler. So like, I can scheme, I can reverse punch, I can angle, I can laugh, I can make you laugh, I can read freestyle. So you never really know like what it is gonna be the one thing that got you up out of here from me. And so I try to keep people on their toes, it's not just like, oh, we can't wait to hear him talk about this, talk about guns, talk about drugs. He's the best at gun bars. No, I keep you on your toes with that. So, just creating that versatility. And then, like you said, it's a science, how you place your rounds, what you say, how you bring it home. And every round to me has to be full circle. It's not just, oh, right until I run out of time. Okay, I'm stopping there. No, we're gonna go back and we're gonna start it like you like you said, you're a screenwriter. You know how to bring something full circle.
Right.
You know when a scene's supposed to start and how it's supposed to end, and that's how rounds are too. Like it ain't just like, I'm gonna cut me off here. All right, my time's up. No, not with me.
So one thing that makes you very dangerous is your rebuttals.
Hmm.
So where do your rebuttals come from? Because they be heavy hitter rebuttals too. Like, do you wait to see if your opponent gonna say something crazy and then you form it in your mind while they rapping?
Yeah.
Because they be back to back. So where do your rebuttals?
Yeah, I always been able to freestyle. Like I said, my older brother really, we freestyling back and forth all the time. And we, once we became, battle rap fans and stuff, it was just heavy multis back and forth. We watched the Thoris and Ilmac and the WRCs and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so we would find it hilarious just to be able to rhyme things like, you know, Slimer from Ghostbusters collided with Bone Crusher. The grind time days. So for years I'm sharpening multi-rhyming, multi-syllable rhyming. You know what I mean? And that's how kind of I wrote. And so with being like quick-witted and funny and being able to freestyle, it comes pretty natural to me that, like, if you're in your round and you're talking and you're like, oh, such and such, boom, 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 this will be Titanic, or something like that. Like the minute I hear a word that I can associate anything else to, you know what I mean? Like, if I hear the word Titanic, then I'm in my head immediately, like trying to think of water, ship, Jack, Rose, you know what I mean? How does it apply? And I give it about 10 seconds while they're rhyming. And if I come up with a line immediately, then I work on it in my head while they're rhyming because I can multitask pretty well. But if it doesn't come to me pretty quickly, then I just move on from that idea and I wait till they say another line. You know what I mean? And so, but I can definitely rhyme. I mean, I can not only rhyme, like I can really create like 4-bar internal rhyming, even scheme words and different things like that. I can create that stuff in my head here in a quick 20 or 30 seconds. So especially if my opponent's got crowd reaction too, while
Yeah,
the
yeah,
crowd's reacting, I'm just over here just boom, 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 boom.
got you.
And then I just chronologically itemize it. I just say, okay, I already got that memorized. Cool. The Titanic's gonna be the first freestyle. Let's get on to the next one. The next one's whatever. Boom. And then if I get to a rough spot, I'll 2 bar it instead of 4 bar it. So originally, like maybe I write it in my head as 4 bar. And if I've already hit 2 or 3 freestyles or whatever, and I'm like, oh, what was the next one? Oh, I remember this. Well, I'll just 2 bar it or something like that. So there's a science to all that as well. So
Yeah, I was just watching. Well, I think I seen the clips of one of your battles you did recently when you was like, "This won't be the first time he caught a stray with the dog," and all
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that. That was
yeah.
crazy. So let me ask you this, Ward: who would you say to this day, because you done battled a lot of people, has been your toughest opponent?
My toughest opponent to this date. Good question. I would say, um, I'm gonna say Ilmac. I'm gonna
Okay.
say Ilmac, probably my toughest opponent to date. Um, who else? Ilmac or Ill Will?
Mm,
Um, Ilmac, just from he's an impeccable writer. I mean, he's just so strategic. His angles. He breaks you down. I was battling him on King of the Dot, and I was battling him in the Bay Area. So I knew kind of my back was going to be a little bit against the wall. With kind of being like a fresh coast event. Um, and so and he's just really, really, really skilled. At what he does.
mm.
And like I knew that he wanted to like prove a point in that battle. So it wasn't a battle you're going into where you're just kind of like, oh, this battle was just thrown together.
Mhm.
So, but then Ill Will to me is like the most terrifying battler to face in front of like 2,500 people. Like when it comes on that stage and 2,500 people, like his charisma, his everything is just. I watched him like smoke T Top in front of like on I think it was Gnome in Houston on that stage, man. And I'm just like, so when I was preparing for Ill Will, I was like, yo, this could get dark quick if I'm not in my bag,
Right.
So that was kind of like the one, that was kind of terrifying. So those two probably are my up to date, like the ones that I was like, yo, don't get smoked.
Got you. So let me ask you this: what would your dream battle be?
Dream battle is gonna
You-
be Hollow or Lux.
Okay.
Either one of those. Definitely Hollow or Lux. The Hollow is always been in my top 5 all time like favorites. Um, and Lux too, but he's just not as active as Hollow. So like sometimes I just don't really like put Lux and Mook in those categories because they're just so way up here. It's like I kind of have um the highest respect for them, and when they're battling, I tune into their battles or whatever. But like Hollow is an active battler. He's still an active part of the culture. You know what I mean? And he's one of my favorites ever. And so my other favorite was like Bill Collector, and I already got to battle him. You know, um, and so but yeah, so I definitely would be Hollow or Lux.
Okay. So let's get into what the people want to talk about. September the 2nd.
Yes, sir.
You got a very, very important battle going down on Max Out 3. Shout out to ARP
Mm-hmm.
against the Mount Rushmore candidate, St.
Yep.
Louis on Aye Verb. It's a lot on the line for this battle, people are saying. So,
Yep.
how do you feel about this match personally, and how did it get booked?
Personally, man, this is a great opportunity for me. Like you just said, Mount Rushmore candidate, legend. I think we can pretty much say that a verb is the reason for Midwest battle rap. He put the Midwest on his back. The history is there. Everything he's done for the Midwest. Is you can't. If you want to talk facts, just look at the facts. The a verb is the reason why the Midwest battle rap exists. Um, and so I've always had the utmost respect for that. You can catalog that back to any tweets, any post, you might even find some YouTube comments before I even started battle rapping, where I'm talking about a verb.
Mhm.
Um, so the opportunity for me, to go in and lock in with a guy like Verb, especially for me representing the Midwest as a Midwest battle rapper, and just kind of like on such a big stage on a big card, with all of the implications, like it's a dope opportunity. It really is a dope opportunity. How did the battle get booked? Good question. I don't remember exactly what day it was, but one day, last year. I think it was probably 2022. Verb has a way of deciding who he wants to, like, kind of go at and
Yeah.
attack, online.
Mhm.
And at some point, Verb felt a certain way about me. I know it was after the bars major battle, because there was no friction or nothing when I went and battled his guy bars major in Nashville last year. And Verb was there. We dapped it up. We talked and everything. So it was after that. And he does it with a handful of people. He's done it with, like Swamp, None, Mike P. I think he's gone at Chef Trez, some other guys. And so he decided to kind of, throw jabs and everything online, start building that storyline, feel the way that he felt, I guess, at the time. And I took it a little personal. So, like, against my Vixen, I knew he was in the crowd because Hitman was on the card. So against Vixen, I hit him with a pretty much like a haymaker, like a side shot. After I was taking care of her, and then kind of out of nowhere hit Verb with one, and the crowd was going crazy. Verb over there standing with Queen's Flip, Joe Bud, and everything. Everybody's going crazy. Books over there going crazy. So that kind of added a lot of fuel to the fire, because you can build the storylines off of the stage,
Right.
but when somebody comes on the stage and lands a haymaker like that, and now it's got you looking kind of crazy in the crowd, running your mouth, and I'm on stage back and forth. That really adds fuel to the fire, you know.
Mhm.
So right after that battle, it started getting talked about. We got to book Ward and Verb, and then Verb a little bit more to promo. So, um, he was asking a whole lot of money. Many leagues hit me up and said like, "Yo, we just this it's just not conducive for business, to book this at what he's asking." Leagues from St. Louis, leagues, big leagues, small leagues, all leagues, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I thought it was pretty much just dubbed. I was like, all right, he just wants to like antagonize, but he really don't want to battle. He just wants to kind of run his mouth. But sure enough, I don't know if it's been a month now, but about a month ago, ARP calls me. He's like, yo, I got two names for you, max out three. I was like, word. And he's like, they're big names, and I'm thinking it's gonna be two other big names. And so he said Verb with one of them, and I was like, don't even say the other name. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is the one that needs to be locked in. So, yeah, shout out to ARP, shout out to Verb, for making it happen, for agreeing to the contract. And yeah, September 2nd, man, I got only about what 37 more days of hearing him run his mouth 4 hours a day, and so I'm earning my bag.
So let me say this, a War. So now the consensus say that Big K beat you convincingly, and like I said, you one of my favorite, but I
Hmm.
got I got Big K beating you also.
Okay.
So what do you feel you will have to change in that blue room, learning from that battle that you have to change for this Verb battle?
Well, I can't tell you all of it, because then the cat's out the bag.
Gotcha.
But I can't tell you that I watched the Big K, and I do notice some adjustments that need to be made. I don't necessarily believe a lot of it was writing. Because I write the way I write, and I'm not ever gonna like really like change up my writing completely for an opponent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm considered one of the best in the world right now because of who I am. You know what I mean? So on paper, I'm still gonna be creative. I'm still gonna be versatile. I'm still going to be rebuttaling and stuff like that. But there's some things, some things outside of that, that I think needed to be cleaned up. And I watched that footage, and I'm going into Verb's battle with the mindset of like, yo, like, um, this is what the blue room looks like. This is what they want. If you haven't been there before, man, the crowd is interesting. It's a pit style crowd, but the room is pretty big. So and we're not mic'd up. So, it's not really like we might have, they might have, I don't even think we have mic. Man, I'm trying to think if there's a boom mic or not. But you really got to be able to project. You really got to be able to, like engage the crowd from the guys that are back against the wall to the guys that are close. So there's a lot of different things to go into the performance that you have to really be mindful of. And yeah. So I've watched the game tapes. I've watched Verb in small rooms. I've watched his game tapes. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm ready for a good one.
Okay, let me say this. So Verb, like you said, he been coming at your deck every day. So
Yeah.
recently, you tweeted out, ARP raised them prices. Now everyone think they got access to my plus ones. I told them I want no fans or friends. You told them There, you just me versus St. Louis. Now, Verb feels you are using this as a tactic to cop pleas and make excuses because in the past you did say that you wanted to take him in St. Louis. So he feel you trying to switch the narrative now. Even Jerry McCoy, he feeling Verb. So can you elaborate on and clarify what that tweet meant?
A couple of things. One, there was a lot of sarcasm there. A lot of sarcasm there. But I got hit up by like 6 different people. That was like, in my past, I'm always like, yo, if I battle and people pull up, like let me know. If you family, if you in Kansas City or whatever, like I got you. I get you in. Like that's how I always am. Anybody in Kansas City that's a friend, family, whatever. Like I'm like, yo, if you pull up, I'll get you in. Whether I got a +1 or not, I'll pay for your, I'll pay for your entry. You sacrifice time to fly out and do, get hotels, cool, because I rarely get to battle at home. So I appreciate it anytime somebody pulls up. But this event, it's $230, So now I got like 10, 12 people trying to cash in on like, hey, remember that time you said, And so there was some sarcasm there because I just got so many people hit me up like, yo, can I get the +1? I'm like, yeah, I didn't negotiate, to bring in 20 people with me, so there was some sarcasm there. But Verb trying to pretend like I'm trying to create or switch anything is the most absolutely delusional thing possible. You know what I mean? Like we have a guy that is sitting here talking about, first, he ain't battling on URL, so he never been in fights. Second, he's white. He this, that, and the third. Third, he's the new era. We're switching it back to the old era. Like he is trying to set so many narratives, right? Trying to set so many, like to have me against my back against the wall. Let's just say I even wanted to pretend like it was me versus St. Louis. If you don't like that, that's cool. But shut the hell up, bro. You're the one running your mouth trying to make this everything but battle rap, So like that's not his line to say, But I did say, I did, and that's the other thing you got to realize, bro. Twitter, online, back and forth or whatever, like everybody takes everything so serious. You know what I mean? Like there's so much sarcasm. I tweeted yesterday, you won't believe how many people in Atlanta have seen me and been like, hey, yo, you that white boy Verbs battling, like I tweeted that yesterday. And some people was just like, dang, people really said that. I'm like, no, it's all sarcasm. Like, can we get a sarcasm font? Can we just get that sarcasm font so we can stop? So like, even when I'm going back and forth with Verb and I'm like, yo, I'll battle you anywhere. I'll battle you here, there. I'll battle you in St. Louis. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? That's just me, like talking like confident. Like, bro, set it up. We can go to the corner, the end of the corner. That's not like me saying I'm the greatest battle rapper in the world. I want to battle Aye Verb in St. Louis. I could take upon the St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like you got to look at it those different ways in context or whatever. So I don't really listen to the spaces or him talking about the whole St. Louis tweet. But if he said that, that's so hilarious to me that he thinks I'm trying to switch a narrative after he done spent 2 weeks, 4 hours a day trying to create, this whole white guy thing. And not to mention, bro, if we want to talk about switching the narrative, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, he was saying that the battles that are not on URL don't count. He literally said, I don't have any battles that count, that I haven't been, nobody put blood in my mouth. I haven't been over on URL yet. It's different over there. And until I do, my resume doesn't matter. But now I'm guessing that he thinks this battle counts, right? Yeah, we're not doing that.
All right. I know he been, like you said, he been going in, maybe calling you white boy. He said your mother on drugs. He calling you a fake Christian, saying you smoke and drink, and he gonna send a tape to your church. Is Aye Verb getting under your skin? Is he making you want to push your pen differently, A Ward?
No, not at all, because my mama don't do drugs. I do drink in moderation, and it's not, you can't not drink as a Christian. It's not a rule that, hey, Christians can't drink. I've drank with my pastor. Matter of fact, send a video. My pastor be like, yo, are you drinking Basil Hayden or Woodford? Like, is that old fashioned mate? Like, that's what my pastor gonna respond with. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not, I don't live my life as if I'm like ducking and dodging some kind of camera or anything like that. I live a very open, fun, loving, transparent life, So for him to say my mama on drugs is a crazy lie. It's wild, disrespectful. As of right now, I'm taking it in the context of he said that because he was basically saying Well, everybody always says my mama's a lesbian. You know what I mean? And that's not true. So how about I just make up something about A Ward's mama? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and take it in battle rap context or whatever. But no, he don't get under my skin, man. He don't get under my skin. The one thing I just think is funny is he believes everything that's happening has come from something that he's done. You know, like I'm on vacation golfing. Oh, A Ward posting pictures of golf because he got money because I took him in a battle. It's like, bro, the narcissism and the ego and everything is so absolutely out of control. But I mean, that's what you get with Verb. You know what I mean? That's hey man, if that's how you gotta feel loved every day, by all means, man. But that's gonna be rough once you get in your 50s and 60s and stop rapping. So
So I know I think I see somewhere where you told A Verb you've been in St. Louis more than him and never seen the way you come. Do you feel that is a true statement coming from you, or was you just saying that to antagonize?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how often he goes home, but I know that, I know that if there's a St. Louis battle rap event, Soldier, like, and I'm not out of town, like I'm there. You know what I mean? And I don't call and say, you know what I mean? And even since he's been running his mouth, I've been there 3, 4, 5 times, battle rap events, poetry events, rapping, doing different things, just coming out, chilling with people or whatever, went out with T Dub one night, that's my guy, rock with T Dub heavy, you know, great relationship with battled there twice, battled on Street Report twice, battled 2 St. Louis cats in my city. I got 6 battles of basically that has a community within the I-70 series of St. Louis and Kansas City. So when it comes to somebody trying to tell me like, yo, I'm not Midwest, he's going on this rampage of like, yo,
Yes.
you're not Midwest, you're not from here, you're not this, that, and the third
Say
or
you ain't from
whatever.
Kansas City. Say you ain't from Kansas City. Hey,
And I've never said I was from Kansas City. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. I live a very open, honest life. You know what I mean? Like if anybody knows me, you've seen me battling in Tennessee gear and Kansas City gear all the time. Like no matter what. My first battle, I got a Tennessee shirt on, a Kansas City hat. Like I represent both of them and within the context. And if you want to say to yourself, well, you know what, you wasn't born here, so I'm not gonna call you a Midwest battle rapper. That's fine. I said, you know what? That's fine. Cool. You can have that. But the hours, the blood, sweat, tears, the community that I've been here since I was 19 years old, the foundation I built, the following I built, you know what I mean? I've been in this city, I've been rapping. I did 10 years of performing before I ever even battled in the city. You know what I mean? Almost like 10 years back and forth, built up, friends, family, all kinds of different places. Like, Kansas City, I am Kansas City when it comes to being an artist, and you can't take that from me. Um, so I say that to say, like he running his mouth about this, you not Kansas City, you not Kansas City. And it's like, yo, but when I pull up, how many times I brought church buses, I brought vans full of people from Kansas City to St. Louis battle rap events, just bringing people out saying, hey, let's go out here and support the Midwest, like I've always been that. I've always been that. I've never tried to capitalize. I've never tried to do anything. If anything, I've organically just given to the culture. You can find videos of me freestyling versus cash flow outside of battle events for free with thousands of views. You know what I mean? Like just any and everything, man. So he can't really take that from me. So it don't bother me. I just understand, like you said, it's the narratives. It's what he wants it to look like. If he gonna tell everybody I'm not Midwest and that crowd gonna be heavy St. Louis, if he gets 2 out of 10 people that used to believe I was Midwest to believe it, he's completed his objective.
Mm. So let me ask you this. So 3 days ago, I think I seen this. You stated you haven't wrote a single bar for Verb, and the battle is a month and some change away. Are you seriously telling me you haven't wrote one bar for A
Not
Word?
one, not one. I mean, the way I operate is I do a lot of writing in my head. You know what I mean? So I haven't put anything on paper yet. I haven't orchestrated any rounds or whatever. But I orchestrate the ideas in my head. Some angles, some different things I really might want to, touch on. If a actual like name flip or something comes to mind where I'm like, oh, I really gotta turn that into a bar. I might add it as a voice note in my phone or whatever. But you always look at rounds like like a plate, like you put the food on a plate and then you go and dress it all up and then you take it to the table. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm getting the ingredients together. I'm getting everything that I want to cook together. I'm getting it all taken care of. Sooner or later, I'm gonna start cooking. I'm gonna put it on a plate, and then that last week is when I'm gonna, make sure the garnish is on there, do this, that, and third, and we're gonna have fun. But yeah, I don't have anything right now, but I got a battle before Verb too. So I got a 3-round battle on GTX. Man, I was really hoping I was gonna see your name pop up on that flyer. I want to see Souldier back, man.
Hey, we got something. Hey, something brewing. Say
Okay, all right,
we hear
all right.
something soon.
All right, man. So yeah, but I got Frack on GTX, so I'm writing for him right now. So I have written bars for him. So it's not like I'm just back here not writing at all, but I have written bars for him, trying to get that locked in. It's 90-second round, so it should be, pretty good to get it locked in the next week. And then full devotion to, to putting together this eulogy for Mr. Chaz Duncan.
So look, let me tell you this, A Ward. Look, many say it's gonna get dark for you in that room with A Word. I'm talking about Wesley Snipes, Flavor Flav, Shabba Face Dark, man. You know what I'm saying? They say Verb is very dangerous in a small room when it comes to rapping. So what do you say to those people who feel you not gonna match Verb and rapping abilities, where they say he is gonna like strictly out rap?
I'll say this: one, it's never ever really gotten dark for me in battle rap, ever. Whether you got me losing a battle or not, it's never gotten dark for me in battle rap, ever. And when's the last time Aye Verb had it dark for anybody? So if those two facts can stand alone, that it doesn't get dark for Ward and Verb doesn't get it dark for people, why in the world would you believe that that's going to happen? It can't come off of facts. It can't come off of, well, it got dark for Suge. No, it didn't. The app got Suge winning. It was a great battle, Well, it got dark for, no, it didn't. It didn't get dark for Gage. It didn't get dark for Meta. It didn't get, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't get dark. He's very good at rapping. He has a lyrical talent. He's great at what he does. You know what I mean? But it don't get dark for people. So the only reason people think it might get dark is because of how much he's running his mouth, not based off the facts of the talent. You know what I mean? And it don't get dark for me. You got me losing to Big K, that's fine. I got a round. He might have clearly got 2 or whatever. That's fine. But I wasn't there rapping fine. I was never in there like, oh my gosh, my soul's going, lifting, like there's never.
Now you
So
definitely did your thing. You definitely
yeah. So anybody that thinks it's gonna get dark for me is just basically going off the antagonizing words that he uses every day to try to. I mean, that's what he has to do to motivate himself to rap well. So yeah, that's wild. That's wild to think. That's like somebody saying like, yeah, Tay Rock's gonna choke against Real Deal. It's like, bro, Tay Rock don't choke. You know what I mean? Like, why would we just automatically start talking about like something that doesn't happen? So I don't believe that, but I do believe that he is a good rapper, and I do believe that the build up to a battle, you can create a I don't know what the word for it is, but since Verb is so good at making people want to watch him rap or whatever, he can make it to where people are going to listen to him rap and be lyrical and see that as more impressive than maybe in just a regular battle when he goes and raps and be lyrical, but that's not all a battle rap, that's not what battle rap is. It's not just one thing, you know what I mean? It's punchlines, it's wordplay, it's angles, it's performance delivery, it's rapping, it's lyricism, it's freestyles. There's a lot of things that go into winning a battle. So if somebody wants to go in there and say, well, who's gonna rap better, you're already looking through it through a lens that he benefits from, because he is a better rapper than me in battles. I would admit that, I rap well, but I would say Verb is a better rapper in battles, but I'm a lot of other things than him.
And that's what I want to ask you. Everybody's saying what you got to watch out for. What do you feel that Verb has to watch out for about you in this battle?
Everything. He needs to watch out that I don't pull up wearing all St. Louis stuff and tell him, say I'm not Midwest now. I'll wear a better Cardinals jacket than he ever had in his life. And I go get that mug signed by somebody. Ozzie Smith.
I got Ozzie Smith. Nigga, I'm talking
Yeah,
about this battle.
yeah.
So let me get
Nah, but yeah, I mean, obviously the rebuttals are dope, but I just got crazy with Vixen, and a rebuttal was never one of the bars anybody quotes. You know what I mean? We talking about Crown Vic, slow down, graded on the curve, OJ. We talking about all of the writtens, all of the performance bars, the punches. You know what I mean?
crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, so to think that like it's just rebuttals is crazy too. So yeah, you gotta make sure you're not getting broke down, in a certain aspect. And I'm gonna be on your head, like you know what I mean. I'm gonna be like all of that energy you got right now. I don't want to see none of them little smirks, you licking your lips, putting your chapstick on, laughing, looking at the camera and stuff when we in that ring. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that prima donna stuff. Like right here. I need you right here. Don't wear no glasses. Don't wear nothing. All right, St. Louis, I need you right here because I'm gonna be on your head, Verb.
And I can't wait to see this battle, man. It's crazy. So let me get your predictions, A Ward, on the
A
court.
Ward 3-0. That's what I predict. A Ward 3-0.
Hey, listen, y'all heard it here. A Ward said he's go 30. But now, who you got in that Hitman and Ill battle?
Right now, I'm still edging Hitman, man. I like the back and forth that they got. I think Hitman got a little chip on his shoulder, from the easy battle. And man, Ill Will's got a battle of the year contender with Hollow. And I remember hearing Ill Will's first round, and I'm like, man, he still is the most dangerous battle rapper in the world. Like he's still one of the greatest. You know what I mean? It's really a toss-up battle for me. The only reason I'm edging Hitman is I just think that with that little chip on his shoulder, I feel like he's gonna get into a bag, that is gonna be very, very interesting, and very exciting for the fans. So I'm an edge Hitman, but I would not be surprised if Ill Will took it as well.
All right, what about Big K and Young Ill?
Man, I'm taking Big K. I love Young Ill. I love Young Ill. I love watching Young Ill battles. I think Young Ill's talented. I watched him live versus John John. They just released that battle, and I had John John winning that battle. It's very difficult for me to just take somebody that hasn't battled in so long against somebody who's literally battling at probably their best right now. Maybe not their best. I mean, he had a run, back in the late 2010, like 2018, whatever. Big K had a run with the Head Ices, the Ill Wills, the Ill Max and stuff, where he was getting crazy. But his last two battles with me and Mook have been above average. He's been he got really busy against me. He's highly regarded as one of the champion of the year front runners. With that, it's an extra bag at the end of the year. It comes with a lot. So I think he's taking every battle serious. So I think T-Rex on the GTX card versus Big K, T-Rex got to be careful. And I think Young Ill's going to have to be careful. You know what I mean? I do think that with it being St. Louis heavy, when you got Verb and you got Hitman and you're going to have a lot of Cardinal caps in that building, you know what I mean? I definitely think that can help Ill get it comfortable and get into that bag early. And if he does, the upset could be pulled. You know what I mean? But I can't predict it, just off of that. So I'm going Big K.
Okay, so I got three more questions for you. So
yes, sir.
On your journey in this battle rap culture, what would you say has been your greatest challenge?
Oh, good question. My greatest challenge has been prioritizing life. Prioritizing life and responsibilities and continuing to like be able to juggle the artist and like the person, you know what I mean? Yeah. So 2015 rolled around, I started battle rapping. 2017, I'm being flown to different cities and different countries, and I'm being paid, and I'm on pay-per-view, and I'm A-Ward, you know what I mean? And you go to 2018, 2019, I'm battling 20 times a year. I'm out of town. I got a family. I got work. I got all of that kind of stuff, and it's very easy to kind of get caught up in like, oh, I'm an artist. So let me get on YouTube. Let me get on Twitter. Let me get on Instagram. And you just get caught up in the comments and everything, you know? And so just being able to like juggle that, stay grounded, stay humble, one of my friends is a poet in Kansas City. She always says, the only thing I need validation for is parking, and so it's just a reminder that like all of the comments, the good, the bad, the whatever, you know what I mean? Like you still got a family that loves you, you still got all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like stay grounded and be you, you know what I mean? So I would just say like just the artist life of it blowing up, and just being like known and seen everywhere or whatever. Just staying humble through that has probably been the most challenging for real.
Okay, so what would you say would have been your greatest accomplishment?
Um, Beating Geechee Gotti twice.
Mm.
No, but like, I mean, that's
You
not
did beat him
no,
twice, though. You did.
and that's my guy. Now that's there's sarcasm there.
Salute to
You know,
get you.
yeah. The accomplishment side is really just seeing the world, bro. Battled in Australia, battled in London, battled in Alaska. You know what I mean? Battled in Canada, like just seeing the world. I battled in 26 different states. My accomplishments are that, but they're also just the relationships and the friendships I've built. With people. That I'm talking like go beyond battle rap, life things. You know what I mean? And those are just really, really dope, that I've been able to be in places and meet people who are like-minded, who are artists, who are incredible battle rappers, and just been able to do life with them, man, and just and really be, an asset and a friend in times of need for them. And then they reciprocate that as well. Like I've met some great, great, great people through battle rap.
Okay, so what advice would you give someone trying to get into battle rap now? A lot of people feel they got to spend money and go straight to top tiers or one round battles. Or what advice would you give someone who wants to come into battle rap and succeed in battle
Sign the contract. Go to URL. Give them 10 years.
rap?
No, no. Like I said this the other day, and one of my biggest pieces of advice always is just be unique. Like there's 30, 40, 50,000 battle rappers out here all trying to make it, all trying to get the same, probably 100 spots. You probably got 100 active battle rappers right now that are being booked on the big cards. So, whether you're looking to get on King of the Dot or, I Battle, Bullpen, RBE, Chrome, or whatever, right now we're cycling through about 100 names, that kind of can gain some traction and get paid and be flown out. And so there's 30,000 of you. So like you got to stand out, you got to be unique, but you also got to be yourself, In hip hop, like it's blood in the water if somebody's over here acting or pretending like there's something that they're not. And that's one thing I've never done. I'm not in here acting like I did this or did that, you know what I mean? Like I'm being myself, and I think people, that's an authentic feel, and people like that. But be unique is number one, and then two, I tell people like you can't have one foot in and one foot out. Like if you really want to like try and do this, like you got to be both feet in. You got to go, give 5, 7, 10 battles or wherever. Right, like your focus is there. Your focus is getting better. You know what I mean? Because if you just like crowd ain't messing with me, I'm just gonna write this last minute. But I won, but you weren't good and you won. You know what I mean? Like that's not how this works. Like you got to really be professional and want to perfect your craft and get better. So like make sure you got both feet in and you're giving it 100% if you really want to see results.
Okay. Hey, well, let the people know where they can find you.
Yo, you can find me standing on top of Aye Verb's grave on September 3rd, and the tombstone reads, Verb was in fact not about that action. That's exactly what you can read while I'm standing there. You can find me right there. Come bring your flowers. Give your flowers to him before and after because he's going to die. Because I'm A Ward on everything else, man.
Hey, listen, man, I'm ready to see this battle. It's going to be crazy. Before you get out of here, A Ward, I got one question that I like to ask all my guests. When it is all said and done and you are long gone from this earth, what is it you want the people to know about A Ward?
He loved God and he loved people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He loved God and he loved people, and that's it, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to love the Lord, and through that, I'm here to just love people, man, and just the encounters that I have, I always want them to be organic, authentic, encouraging and significant. And I always want people to go away saying like, yo, I really appreciated that. He's a good dude.
Mm. All right.
Yo,
Well,
I
salute
appreciate you, man.
you,
G,
A
I
Ward.
appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to St. Louis. Thank you for bringing me on, man.
No
We'll
problem.
definitely have to wrap after the battle. We'll do a
Yeah,
post battle
definitely.
recap. And shoot, I might be in the loo here in the next few weeks. I might holler at you. We go get some get some food or something. I never really hit a nice Chinese spot, and I know they got.
I'm gonna
I
have to
know
show
they
you.
got
I'm
them.
gonna have to show you. I'm gonna have to show
I
you.
know they got them. So that's the one thing I haven't done in the loo yet. So I'm gonna have to holler at you, man.
All right, I'm gonna take you. All right, all right. Salute to you,
Yes,
Ward.
sir.
Max out.
Peace.
Get y'all tickets. See you
Yep.
later.
Peace.